Oh, 17 HMR, semi-auto, Savage. Oh. Vortex optics. Oh man, wait. What the? Synthetic? What the f? Hey YouTube, it's Andrew, back again with Desert Derpers, and today we are going to be working with the 17 HMR from Savage. Now, this is a semi-automatic HMR, kind of a rare bird. Savage right now is the ones that hold the patent, and they hold the patent for the next three to 4 years. And the reason why this is such a rare bird is the 17 HMR is actually a high pressure round, and the problem with other companies that have made semi-autos is the high pressure round pushes this bolt back so fast that you end up getting spray, just a spray of hot whatever coming out of the breech here. There's the way that Savage addressed this issue, and they're the only ones so far that have addressed this issue, that's why they have the patent, is they have a delayed blowback mechanism. So basically, when you fire the rifle, a little locking pin is up in a groove, and as the bolt goes back, the locking pin holds it shut for just, less than a millisecond, and then the bolt kicks back and cycles around. It's actually, I've shot it, it's actually amazing. It's a great gun. Only problem with it is, as it sits, when it comes from Savage, it comes with this. This is becoming the norm. Synthetic stocks. Now if you guys don't know, synthetic stocks affect accuracy because, well, they wobble. This thing has so much give in the stock, and when you fire it, the barrel will touch the stock and blah blah blah. It's just no good. So you want, on a platform like this, to increase accuracy, you're gonna want a much more rigid stock. Boyds stocks. These guys have been in business for 30 years, and they make a great product. Let's have you come over to my desk over here, and we'll take a look at this guy. I'll unbox it for you. Ooh. Wow, it doesn't get much better than that. So, we have the stock, we have some return warranty paperwork, RMA, and we have some packing material, just some paper. And then we have the piece de resistance. So, this is the Thumbhole Varmint, in forest camo green. Wow, what can I say about this stock? It is amazing, guys. It's about 140 bucks shipped. And again, it's in the forest camo. It's all hardwood. It's in a really nice finish. It's got really nice grain work on it. If you can see all that. Some slits cut to aid in cooling the barrel. Right there, and then we have the channel, the barrel channel, and we have where all the guts go, right there. And the cheek well, right here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice little thumb hole here. Really nice to hold. Feels really good in your hands. Teardrop pistol grip right here, and a butt pad. Since this is an HMR 17, I didn't go with a serious butt pad. I just went with a basic butt pad. There's no recoil on this rifle, so there's no need. But now, having said that, let's talk about this stock. This stock is gorgeous. The grain is gorgeous. The beveling, the subtle beveling. I really think that, in my opinion, that Boyds needs to update their website, because I'm telling you, I didn't know that this was going to look this good when I ordered it, and then I got it, and it's amazing. It is just an amazing, it is an amazing stock. It comes with two studs in the front, one in the back. Obviously, there's a lot of options as far as mounting. There's a lot of options as far as mounting, you know, a bipod or mounting your strap, your sling. So yeah, I can't speak highly enough about it. It feels great in your hand. This one in particular, the finish on it looks so perfect. It looks almost fake. That's how perfect the finish and the grain and the color and everything looks on it. I mean, this is a beautiful stock. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to put the A17, get it out of that crummy synthetic and get it into this wood stock. I just can't say enough. The bevels and the subtle curves on this thing, and the way your hand fits everywhere, the way your hand grips the rifle, it's just it's amazing. And then, like, another thing that I could not see in the online picture, but that I saw when it came, here's where the safety is, right across here. These notches are where the safety is. Let me zoom in and get a good shot of this. So let's do a zoom here. Okay, so this is where the safety is, right here. You know, the button's right here. It has this really awesome beveled edge here. So when you're holding the rifle, obviously this is the wrong way, but when you're holding the rifle, your finger rests in this beveled edge. So it's like, without looking, you're going to know where that safety is, because you know where your finger stops. Right here is going to be in this bevel, is where the safety is going to be. And like I said, the finish is so good on this stock that it almost looks fake, but it's 100% real. You can actually see the grain work inside, and you can see that it's so clean, it's so well done. It looks amazing. Couldn't believe it. Boyds, you gotta update your website because your stuff looks amazing. Your stuff looks great. And if you had some professional photography that could show how amazing it is, that would be I think you'd sell more stocks. They're a small company, so they're just coming up. They're not just coming up. They're 30 years old, but they're just kind of getting with the times, I think. Now, problems. Let's go to that because I want to close out the video on the stock here. So the stock arrived great. I had no problems with how it arrived or the condition it was in. It's in perfect condition. So that packing obviously works for them. They've been doing it for a while. My only problems are customer service, and not necessarily customer service, but the ability to get a hold of customer service is horrific there. They're a small company, so I guess that you know, it's tough to get a hold of them, but it's really bad. The only way you can actually get a hold of anybody, usually, is to contact the sales team. So, like, you're going to order something new. Seems to be the only way I can get a hold of anybody. I bought this on the 19th. I had talked to the woman in the sales department, and I asked, you know, because I wanted to do this review, is there any way to get this here by the 11th? And she said, oh yeah, no problem, because it'll be 5 to 7 days for production, and then 3 to 5 days for ship, which puts this here by probably the 6th or 7th, I think it was. Well, I called them back, and all of a sudden it was going to be, you know, 10 to 13 business days for production. And so I freaked out. I was like, hey, you can't do that. You can't, you know, do blah, blah, blah. And anyway, so I got a hold of a manager there. Her name is Jill. She's amazing. What she did is she called me back, or she sent me an email the next day, told me the progress of my stock and where it was at, and then upgraded my shipping from the standard shipping to second day air. So I ended up getting this late still, but I feel like I was taken care of. I feel like someone listened to me, someone cared about what I was trying to do, and they took care of it. And that's ultimately that's the best thing you can hope for from customer service is to leave and you know, get off the phone or leave the store feeling like you were taken care of. And I definitely felt like that. So kudos to Jill. You deserve a promotion. I don't know if you can get a promotion, but you deserve a promotion. So she got it here for me to do this review. So, having said that, great stock, good customer service when you can get a hold of somebody. If you can get a hold of somebody, awesome customer service. If you can't, it's highly frustrating. I recommend just calling the sales line and trying to get a hold of a manager from there if you're in a rush to get the stock. All right, well, let's get the old crappy synthetic stock off and get this bad boy on. All right, guys. So here, as you can see, I have my Savage in the bench in my rifle rest. So all you're really going to need to do this job is a hex head. You're going to need a small flathead with a nice fine point. And you're going to need a pick of some sort. I mean, you can use a pen or something like that. There's just a pin that you have to push, and this is what you're going to use. This is what I use to do it. So, alright, first you're going to start off by removing the takedown screws. And that, again, is just removed with the hex head. And that is pretty simple. Remove your magazine. Set that aside. Alright. That's the one on the bottom. Now you gotta flip it over. Right? Because, and I'll show you, let me flip this around. Okay, as you can see in the back here, this plate in the back. See that? That plate, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little pinhole there, if you can see that. And that's where this guy comes into play, because you have to push that pin in. Alright? You have to push the pin in, and then use like a flathead to get underneath this plastic plate and just pop it up. It'll pop right up. Like that. Alright? I'm going to remove this plate here. And actually, yeah, it's plastic. It's a really hard plastic, but it's plastic. Alright. Now down in here, right behind the spring here, is your second hex head. And you can reach that just by doing this. Now, one of the things I want to mention is, depending on your rifle, as far as the Boyds review side of this goes, depending on your rifle, you may have to keep your takedown screws. Sometimes they may be provided. You may have to keep your trigger guard. Sometimes they may be provided. Just depends. I know on the Ruger American, the trigger guard is provided, and they have a metal one, which actually is an upgrade from the plastic one that comes on it. More and more, these components are becoming the non-necessity components are becoming plastic more and more on these rifles. So we're almost done here removing this. And there we go. Let's pull this bad boy out. Let's use this just to lift it out of there. Pull the action. Pull this whole thing apart. You don't want to hold on to that. And that allows us to pull the trigger group and bolt and all that out of the rifle. And this guy. So on this guy you can see, I mean, they did an okay job, but you can actually see where or why this thing, I mean, look at this thing flex, watch. Can you see that? Look at all that flex. So you can see why this is not the best thing for the job. On my particular model of Boyd stock, it already came with that rear takedown screw. So we're just going to pop that out real quick. Oh, it's a larger size. Wow. Wasn't anticipating that. There we go. Alright, we're going to remove this guy here. Alright. And I'm going to swap over this lock washer that was on the original takedown screw for the rear. And I'm going to put it on this guy here. Alright, so let's bring our trigger group and bolt and yada yada yada. And let's drop this into the rifle. Let's drop it in. Just like a glove. Okay, we want to make sure that we're in here correctly, seated in here correctly, and it looks like we are. So we're going to reinstall the rear takedown. Now we're not gonna tighten these down all at once, because a wise man once told me that you should tighten them all down evenly, and that stuck with me. So let's get this Allen head in here. Let's get this twisting. And on most of these, you don't have to remove the scope or anything. This rifle is kind of an odd duck in the way it's built. It has this rear takedown screw that's under that back plate. Most of your takedown screws are going to be on the bottom of the rifle. This one just happens to be here. So we're just going to tighten this guy down. And remember, I replaced that. I kept that lock washer to go on here. One wasn't provided from Boyds, but it's always best to carry over as much as you can. Okay, just cinch that up, and we're going to give the rifle a flip. Okay, get it rested in there nice. Okay, and then here's the second of the two takedown screws, and that's the longer of the two. So we're going to go ahead and throw that guy in there. Get our other Allen wrench, or hex head, I guess. We're going to tighten this one down, just cinch it up. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and flip this guy back to the rear. Flip this guy back to the rear. And we're going to go in here and tighten this up all the way. Don't have to crank it or over tighten it or anything. Just get it nice and tight. I'm going to flip this guy over again. A lot of flip-flopping. And then we're going to give this guy a tighten. If I can get this in there. That's what she said. And give this a good tightening. Just tighten it till you feel the whole stock snap in half. No, just tighten it down pretty good. There we go. And that's as easy as that. That is about as easy as it comes. You just installed the stock. Now that plate, a little tricky to put back in, that back plate. It just slides back in. You got to make sure you get this little tab to go in, and when you push it back in. You got to line it up with that little hole where that spring comes back, and you just push it back in. There we go. Look at that. I know how to do something. Okay. So that plate goes back in. It's a little pain in the butt because there's a... Right here, let me zoom in. Alright. Right here is this little pin. And it's an indent. And that pin actually functions as a guide rod. That goes from here to here. And that pin, it's a dual purpose thing. You push this pin in. You're gonna push the pin in, and then with a flathead screwdriver, you're gonna pop this off. So yeah, so that's it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to do, relatively inexpensive. The stocks are, I mean, they're beautiful. I mean, they're really beautiful. Only thing is, obviously, due to the fact that it's a hardwood stock, it's heavier. It's going to be heavier. So if that's an issue for you, I think the stock is roughly 3.5 pounds, 3.5, 4 pounds, something like that. So it's definitely heavier than the synthetic. I think the synthetic was like, like 2 maybe. But I'm telling you, you cannot beat no scope slap and barrel lift and all that crap that you get, you know, and the barrel touching, and you just can't beat it with something like this. It's just, this takes a rifle to a different level between the ergonomics of it, as far as like where the hands are held, the thumb hole, the pistol grip, how you engage and disengage the safety, and how you can feel it. It's just positive. You got a positive interaction with this gun at all times, and the way it fits against the shoulder, the way the cheek weld is. Again, Boyd's customer service needs massive work. Their website needs a lot of work. I'm shocked that, I guess a lot of people, they've been around for 30 years, so I guess they got a good namesake, but as a new buyer of their stocks, it was, the site website was disappointing, and the ability to get a hold of customer service was massively disappointing. So other than that, though, I mean, when I did get a hold of somebody, they took care of me. It was no problem. I felt great. I felt like I was being taken care of. Getting a hold of somebody, completely different issue. Anyways, so that's been the redo of this guy here, and the new stock, and have a great day.